Hey Sagittarius, thanks for checking out your love and romance reading for January 2022. Can you believe it? My gosh, time is flying. We're going to connect and see what's coming up for Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. I know a lot of people like to check out their Venus sign when it comes to love, so I always set the intention for Sagittarius Venus as well. My dears and my darlings, you might stumble across this video outside of January. That's fine. You're going to find it whenever you're meant to find it, whenever it's time for you to hear the messages that are in it. Keep in mind this is a general reading for the collective. Therefore, not every single message is going to resonate. But take the ones that do, leave the ones that don't. So without further ado, my darlings, let's see what's coming up for love and romance for Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Alrighty, my dears. Let's get right on into it. Alright, so the first card coming up here is the Wheel of Fortune. And this is a major arcana card, Sagittarius. So for me in my readings, those of you who watch my videos, you've heard me say that when the major arcana cards come up, they come up because you're dealing with a situation that's directly connected to something you came here to accomplish, something you came here to learn, something you came here to master. You're coming into a new chapter. It's like a defining moment in your life. So it's energy that's going to be around for a while. When I have major arcana cards come up between two people, especially when it's the first card right out of the gate, that is telling me that there's a very strong past life connection here with this person. You've had many past lives together before, and that you all have a contract or an agreement that you were going to meet in this lifetime for this specific reason. Okay? Then when I look at the major arcana card, it gives me an idea of what that specific reason is. And the wheel is all about cycles and movement and getting unstuck. So this is going to come up as a relationship or a person that you guys mutually are coming into each other's life or dealing with a similar situation at the same time, and you're helping one another to move past it, to move forward, to move on, to get unstuck, to come out of this stagnant energy. You both might be coming out of a period or a time of stagnation. Now, Sagittarius, you guys have had some really interesting weekly forecasts. If you don't know how this channel works, once a month I do a love reading, which is what you're watching right now. But every week I'll do a weekly forecast for all of the signs where I talk about everything other than love. Now, for you guys, for the weekly forecast for Sagittarius, Spirit has come in with some powerful messages over the past couple of months. You guys are going through a massive shift, a massive evolution, spiritual evolution, ascension. You guys are coming into this really powerful upgrade energy. So maybe love has been stagnant for some of you for a very long time, or a relationship has just been really lackluster. But the wheel card is telling us now is the time for movement. Now is the time for change. And the two of you are helping each other get inspired or get moving. I feel for some of you, you're coming out of your shell. Sagittarius, you guys are a very bold energy, right? Sagittarius has strong energy. But for some of you, there may have been some disappointments that kind of cooled your fire down or caused you to kind of like really kind of go into this shell. And that time is over. Now is the time for emergence. Now is the time for movement. Now is the time for progress. Now is the time for change. The next card that's coming up here for Sagittarius is the Three of Swords, right? And the Three of Swords is a card that comes up when we have disappointments, we have sorrows, we might feel hurt, we might feel betrayed. right? It's like the past might be very heavy on our heart, but here is the wheel, and here is our chance to move past that, to move past it and to move forward. Some of you have to be aware that this wheel energy, this person, this relationship that's getting you unstuck, that's getting you out of the stagnant energy, as you start to roll with this relationship, you're realizing where your wounds are, or you're realizing where you're kind of afraid, right? Like, here's the tender spot, here's where I've been hurt. Gosh, I really hope I don't get hurt in this place again. But when you find yourself having these feelings come to the surface, it's actually a wonderful gift that gives you the chance to process it, to release it, so that you're not holding on to it anymore, and you can replace it by receiving positive experiences, receiving love. This is a powerful time of clearing for you. This relationship, this person, is making you feel again. Some of you have just kind of really disconnected from that part of your heart. You shut it off, you turned it off, you pushed it down, and now it's opening up and it's coming to the surface. And this is your time to really start to feel. And as the heart is opening up, there may be some heavy emotions coming to the surface. You're going to be really tempted to shut this person out. You're going to be really tempted to walk away from this relationship or this situation. And Spirit is saying, just write out these waves. Write it out. It's coming to the surface because you're ready to release it. And people always ask me, how do I release? How do I do that? To release, all you're going to do is let yourself feel that emotion, which means you might need to have a good cry. You might need to scream into a pillow. You might need to, find something that is okay for you to punch or kick, like a punching bag or a kickboxing bag or something, right? Or maybe you have some old stuff and you're like, I'm just going to go out in the yard and I'm going to bust it apart and break it, right? Some healthy outlet. You need to let yourself feel the feelings and ride those waves of emotion. This person, this connection is helping you to feel the things that you've been pushing down for a long time. And I've said this in the past about the Three of Swords. It is powerful. It can be painful. It can really sting. But the Three of Swords always makes me think of when I used to teach preschool and the babies would be running around the playground and one falls down and gets hurt. And they're screaming and crying like it is the end of the world, right? And it's real. It's genuine. They're not faking. It scared them when they fell. Maybe they got a little bit embarrassed. It hurt. Physically, it hurt. But you give them an ice pack or a Band-Aid. You give them a hug. And less than a minute later, it's like it didn't even happen. They're running around the playground again. They're a T-Rex, Paw Patrol, I don't know, whatever the kids are playing now. They're back to being a superhero. Like it didn't even happen. And that's what I think of when I see the Three of Swords. The pain is intense. It's real. It's genuine. But we have a good loud cry or a good loud yell and it's gone. It's over. It's out. And we're as good as new again. So this relationship and this connection is coming in to help you get over the past. And for some of you, it's not even romantic hurts. It's childhood injuries. It's childhood hurts, right? Ways in which your parental figures may have neglected you or let you down or didn't make you feel safe or were overly critical or they weren't attentive to your needs. For some of you, it's a combination of everything. But anything that's been blocking you, anything that's been keeping you in this sad, heavy energy, it's all being released. It's all gone. You're getting it out. This connection is helping you to do this. The next card that's coming up here for you, Sagittarius, is the Five of Wands. Now, this also came up for Leo, and it may or may not have also come up for Aries. it could be something that's happening here for the fire signs, where maybe some of you are feeling a little feisty or defensive or ready to kind of stand your ground in a situation. But one of the meanings of the Five of Wands is competitiveness. And I feel really strongly that competitive energy in this Five of Wands card for Sagittarius. So I feel, Sagittarius, that, and maybe for some of you this goes back to your childhood. Maybe you had a parent who was a bit of a narcissist, or who behaved more like a jealous sibling than an actual parent. And you might have found in your romantic relationships, or even in your friendships or your relationships in general, anytime you're trying to do good, anytime you're trying to make positive changes in your life, you might kind of find yourself around people or a person that has a way of downplaying your accomplishments. Like, what you did is not that big of a deal because they did more or they did better. Oh, you got a B+ on your exam? Oh, that's great. I got an A. Oh, you got a promotion at work? Oh, that's great. You know, when I started my job, I was there for 2 weeks, and then they gave me a promotion, and now I'm like the next under the head of the company. Like, they're always one-upping you, or they're always making it sound like, oh, well, that's so great for you, but look what I did. Look what I accomplished, right? Or maybe you had a parent that was like, oh, you don't contribute to this family. When I was your age, I was doing this and I was doing that. So I feel like it's a sense of competitiveness, but I also feel it's a sense of like downplaying your accomplishments or downplaying your contribution, right? Your contribution to the relationship, your contribution to expenses, like whatever you're doing, like it's not that big of a deal. Like, you think you accomplished something, but you didn't. And I feel like you've been dealing with people that are always like talking this way or making you feel this way. But this is what the wheel is about. The wheel is about breaking out of that cycle, right? Getting past it, getting over it. You're not going to do that anymore. And for a lot of you, Sagittarius, it's happening by you like standing up and being proud of yourself. That, you know what, this is an accomplishment. You know what, I am proud of myself. You know what, I have come a far way. I have come a long way. This is a big deal. And if it's not enough for you, bye. It's going to be more than enough for somebody else. So I feel a sense of like being appreciated, being encouraged, being recognized for your accomplishments and for what you bring to the relationship. That's the energy and the feeling that I'm feeling around it. And this is the kind of relationship that you're calling in, that like you're having. I feel, Sagittarius, some of you may also be very honest with somebody about how you feel about them or not wanting them in your life anymore. This could be a friendship. This could be a romantic, this could be a friendship or a family situation. Maybe for some of you romantic, but I feel like you feel this person or this situation has been robbing you of your joy and shaking your confidence and your self-esteem, and you feel like that's been negatively impacting your love life. You know, how can you have a healthy love life if you're not feeling confident, or you have someone that's constantly, you know, tearing you down or picking at you? So I feel for some of you like there's somebody that you're flat out saying like, look, you're bringing a lot of negativity into my life, and, you know, I don't want to argue about who's right or who's wrong. This just doesn't feel good for me. I don't want to do this anymore. I've heard your opinions. You've made yourself, you know, perfectly clear. But I don't want to be around it anymore. I don't want to be around it anymore. I don't want to be around you anymore. I don't want you calling me. I don't want to get together. I don't want to spend time together. Like, I'm done. You live your life. I live my life. I'm done. And I feel like when you're saying this to this person, they're absolutely positively falling apart. Like, you're going to be very shocked about how they're reacting, because you feel like they can't stand you. They always have something critical to say. They always have some kind of a judgment. So when you're like, look, okay, fine, you know, I'm terrible, just be away from me and let me be away from you and let me be terrible. Don't be surprised if this person doesn't start crying and like begging you, you know, to like give them another chance, or to not cut them out of your life, or, well, you just misunderstood them and they didn't mean it that way. I will say this feels to me like a very toxic person. I feel like you have to trust your instinct if your instinct is telling you that it's not good for you to be around them. But I'm just going to say, be prepared for this person to really just kind of like beg you, and, you know, to still kind of let them be in your life. But as I said, you got to listen to your gut. If you're like, this person's really bringing me down, you know, it's just, it's not good for you. For some of you, you've been blocked in your love life because somebody else has been very possessive of you and really kind of manipulating you, and, you know, making you feel bad about yourself, or making you feel like, you know, your relationships aren't a big deal, or somebody showing interest in you isn't that big of a deal, and you're having to just shake that person off. You're having to get them off your back. The next card that's coming up here for Sagittarius is the Eight of Pentacles. And the Eight of Pentacles has a lot to do with taking our time and carving out the details. Okay? This can indicate for some of you that you might be working on some kind of like expanding your skill set in terms of career. Maybe you're going back to school and you're learning a new trade, or you're getting some kind of certification to add to your existing skills, or you're, you know, starting a new job, or excuse me, getting a new assignment with a current job. And you might be meeting somebody through that process as you're working on that part of your life. I do feel, however, that the Eight of Pentacles for a lot of you is saying that as this soulmate person is coming in and helping you get unstuck, and as this relationship is moving forward, don't feel rushed and don't feel hurried to set everything in stone. Like, okay, this is it, we're going to get engaged, or we're going to get married, or this is what our, you know, plan is going to be moving forward, or we're going to make everything official, or we're going to get over this stagnant period and we're a couple again, we're back on again, we've reconciled. Don't be in a hurry to pinpoint all of that. The Eight of Pentacles tells me, take your time to carve out the details. This is the chance for you guys to really talk, to really communicate, and to carve out the details about what you want for your future, what you want from this relationship, what you need from one another. There's a lot to talk about. There's a lot to finalize. And let yourself experience that process. There's no need to hurry up and figure it all out in January. There's no need to hurry up and figure it out and make big life decisions and big life commitments, you know, right away. You might be feeling tempted to do that, because this could be like you feel all of a sudden like your heart is opened up and you're feeling feelings again, and you might be feeling tempted to just hurry up and make big decisions in this relationship. But the Eight of Pentacles is saying take your time, talk things out, talk things through, really do your planning, really do your you know, attention to the details of life and how things are going to be moving forward. I feel some of you are also setting financial boundaries in your relationships. Maybe for some of you, you've had really toxic relationships, or people in your life haven't been very trustworthy, and you're really wanting to trust this person, and you're wanting to have this relationship, but you also feel like, you know, I want to trust you, and it's going to be easier for me to trust you if I have a little bit of a safety net. If I have a little bit of money set aside somewhere, or like I know that, you know, I'm not going to be stuck in this situation if, God forbid, you know, you start, treating me a certain kind of way that you shouldn't be treating me, or, whatever it might be. And, you know, the right person is not going to have a problem with that. The right person understands that, you know what, I know you've been hurt. I want you to feel like you have your independence. I want you to feel safe. I'm not going to be acting up. I'm not going to be doing anything crazy. Therefore, I have no problem with you feeling like you have to have that safety net, because I know that I'm never going to make you use that safety net, right? The right person isn't going to be offended by this. And Sagittarius, this might be a boundary that you're setting up for yourself, where you're like, this is how I'm going to feel safe. This is how I'm going to be able to trust this person and trust this relationship, because I know that if I need to have an emergency exit, there's my emergency exit, right? I'm going to be able to stand on my 2 feet, or I'm going to be okay. And so some of you are setting financial boundaries in a relationship, or having a little financial safety net for yourself that you're keeping separate, right? From like your assets as a couple, or your accounts as a couple. The next card that's coming up here for you is the Six of Cups. So this could be a part of a reconciliation for some of you, right? Like coming out of a stagnant period, getting the spark back in the relationship, figuring things out, getting on the same page, being able to come back together again and to reconcile. For some of you, the Six of Cups can be a reuniting on a soul level, like somebody from a past life coming back into this life, where you're feeling very much like a sense of like a kindred spirit. And the thing that I feel those of you are feeling with this kind of person, where it's like a reunion from a past life, I feel you're feeling a tremendous amount of sincere, genuine, innocent, pure love from this person. I feel a lot of inner child energy from this Six of Cups, where it might feel very much like this person is taking you back to your childhood. You might be bonding over like nostalgia, like, oh man, I remember that cartoon, oh man, I loved playing that game, or, you know, like things like that. You might be like, your inner children are coming together and bonding. And I feel like there's a tremendous amount of healing from that energy and from that type of connection. Whereas maybe in the past, your connections, maybe there was a lot of pressure to be, you know, really hot, really kind of, you know, like arousing, enticing, seductive. And this is just very pure. This is very pure. That doesn't mean that you guys don't have passion for each other. Don't get me wrong. But this is more like bonding, intimacy, like making love, playfulness. This just feels like a secure connection for me. A secure connection. That you just feel safe. Safe and comfortable. And in this kindred spirit kind of energy. You may want to check out your moon sign, your rising sign, your Venus sign, if this video is none of those for you. Some months, your moon or rising or Venus might resonate more than your sun sign. You may want a private reading, which you can schedule with me by going to calendly.com/amethystangelite, and you can schedule a private reading with me there. The 2022 12-month forecasts for all the zodiac signs have been posted. I have those linked in the description of this video as well, for those of you who want to watch the 2022 forecasts. I thank you all for watching, liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing. I'm wishing you all a happy new year. Take care, my dears.